let's talk about your discography, bro. Before we get there, though, I remember already knowing you have a big catalog.
Yeah.
And been doing this for a good little minute now.
Yeah.
But when I walked into your studio and seen all the multi-million stream plaques, I was heavily reminded how much you have a hand in making a lot of dope music.
Mm-hmm.
To name a few, Gifted Gab, Raz Simone,
Yes, sir.
Mozzie,
Yep.
Sam LaChow,
Yeah.
Brainstorm,
The homies.
King Leeds.
The homies. Tacoma.
I mean, that's those are some dope artists, bro.
Geniuses.
No, 1,000,000%. Name 5 of your favorite artists out of all the artists you worked with so far, and why?
Damn. Okay, so top 5, I say first, I would say Raz Simone, because like me and Raz have been through hell and back. We've been through thick and thin through this rap shit, and it's became deeper than rap with me and him. So he's just one of those artists that is fearless. Like, the thing that I like most about him is like he's fearless and he'll try anything, like, and as a producer, like, that's all you ask for an artist is like, let's just like collaborate. Let's do some hardcore collaborating, and let's just see like what we can just come up with. And then when you do that, you come up with shit that you couldn't even believe. You're like, damn, like this came out from this. So shout out to Raz, I'll give him that. Next, I say Gab, because obviously Gab is the fucking queen of rap as far as Seattle goes, and even beyond that, like, when I first met Gab, she was so dope. I was like, man, like, I need to work with her. It's funny because when I first met her, we got snowed into an apartment that I was going to go work on music with, and I didn't even know that she was going to be there. But we got snowed in and couldn't leave until like the snow went down. So I had all my equipment, and then she was there, and we were there for like 3-4 days. But she was like, you make beats? I was like, hell yeah. You rap? She's like, yeah. She was like, let's do it. So from that point on, we have not looked back. And Gab is one of the dopest MCs, male or female. She's
1,000,000%.
one of the most incredible artists that I've been with, and she's funny as shit, and she's real as shit too. So, shout out to Gab. So that's number 2. I'll say number 3. I say Sam LaChow, the homie. Like, it's crazy because me and Sam have only worked on 3 songs together, but like each song has like blown up. Like, the first song we did was "Good to Be Home," which is like a Seattle anthem, and we had been always talking about like working, like, oh, let's work, and like timing never permitted it. But then like once we got in the studio, like we had that magic happen, like with "Good to Be Home," and put it out. That shit like just took off. Like, I was on tour at the time, like when he dropped it, but then like it just took off. It just gained millions and millions and millions of streams. That was my very first plaque that I got, was from that song, "Good to Be Home." It was my first thing that I ever saw 1 million streams from. So I'm like, damn, this shit is crazy. So we got that song, and then in 2020 we dropped Lady Sunday, which every year that it's been out, it's went up 1 million streams every single year. So in 2020 it went to 1 million streams. 2021 it hit another 1 million streams. 2022 it hit another 1 million streams. So I'm like, damn, that shit's crazy, And then shooting the video out in Pasco, that was dope. Shout out to Devin, his dog. Like, his dog is dope as shit. He's the one that's on the album cover. But yeah, I'll say Sam is one of the most incredible and most efficient artists that I've ever worked with. So that's number 3. Number 4, I would say King Lee's. Shout out to Tacoma. ever since I met Lee's has just been one of the funniest fucking dudes, one of the realest dudes I've ever been around in his music shit. And he's another one of mine that we just like hit it off like easily and was just like, hey, let's work. So we worked, and then we were out in Paris at the time, and we had a song called Dead Presidents. And we were like, damn, we need a video to this. We need to shoot a video to this. So we randomly, Lee's randomly found a videographer out in Paris and was like, hey, can you shoot this video for me? Like, it's called Dead Presidents. And the dude's like, yeah, of course. So we went all throughout Paris, like Eiffel Tower, all that shit. And we shot the video. And and then the album dropped. So just like for how that happened, all that like stuff that transpired up until the dropping of the album, which was Stay Valuable. I did half the album. I did 5 records on there. I did Dead Presidents. I did Up to Me, Catalina, Choose Me, and Lonely. And that's still hands down one of my most favorite albums that I've been a part of. And that also did great numbers too. Number 5, I would say Fatal Luciano. My fellow Central District brother. Like, Fatal has been someone who I looked up to even before I was even making beats. So I met Fatal back at Jake One's home video, which was the first thing that I was in. And like, it was on MTV, and people had called me because I had the Beats by Dre headphones on in the video, and then people were like, hey, I saw you on MTV. I'm like, what? Like, from where? They're like, in the Jake One video, because I guess it premiered on MTV, so that was fucking dope. But I met Fatal there, and I told him, like, man, let's work, bro. Like, I'm a huge fan of yours. Let's work. He's like, let's get it. So it took a number of years before we got to work, but once we got to work, it was another one too. It was just like fire to a flame, and we just clicked. And we worked on his album, What the Fuck Happened. I did 6 records on there. My most favorite one on there is March 9th. It was a dedication to Biggie. And it's crazy how that worked, because I made the beat back in 2016. And I was like, nah, like, this shit needs to be like dropped like on March 9th. And this is before I even sent the beat to Fatal. So I was like, this needs to be dropped on like March 9th. Like, someone got to do a song to this. And then Fatal, I gave the beat to Fatal in that year, and then he wrote something. And then we dropped it on March 9th, 2017. 20 years to the day that Biggie got killed. We dropped it on that day. And that's still hands down one of my favorite productions I've ever done. So I'd say that's my top 5. Raz, Gab, Sam, Lee's, Fatal. I know that was a long answer, but no, I had to go down that line. So
that's good. Yeah, they're dope for sure.